are talking about the 2016 horror movie The Offering, which is also known as The Faith of Anna Walters, which is also known as The Exorcist, The Faith of Anna Walters. Kind of a little unofficial sequel to The Exorcist there. Now, this one is directed by Kelvin Tong. It's in a co-production with the US and Singapore, and basically it follows a young woman as she travels to Singapore after the apparent suicide of her sister. And she's going there to kind of sort out her affairs, take care of her young niece, find out what's going on, and she doesn't believe that she would have committed suicide. Now, this family is actually plagued by a kind of genetic disorder, which will come to kind of play throughout the movie as well. And as the film progresses, she teams up with her brother-in-law and a couple of members from the church towards the end of the film, and we uncover a kind of somewhat of a demonic conspiracy, and these demons have email accounts, apparently. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, throughout the film, it's peppered with a variety of kind of supernatural incidents, basically culminating in the big finale. Now, I won't go too much more in the plot, that's all you're getting. So what is this film like? It is a professional looking made film, I have to say. So it has some reasonable production values here. I think it does a good job. The camera work is solid. On a technical level, I can't really fault it. I think it does a pretty decent job here in regards to the cinematography, sound editing, all that kind of stuff. All looks pretty damn good to me. And like I said, there's a reasonable amount of effects that are actually on display here, and there's a good variety of them as well. It actually has quite a lot going on, from simple objects moving to full-on kind of monster attacks, things like that. So there's a good amount of sort of special effects here that are all quite varied as well, and it kind of runs at a good pace. On the downside of this film, there's two major kind of things that are wrong with this film. First and foremost, the acting, and this isn't for everyone, I will say, but there are some weak performances here, particularly from Katie, who is the kind of the niece, basically, the kind of the young girl. Her character, basically, her character is Katie. The young girl who plays up, not very strong, unfortunately. Some quite poor line delivery here. The other thing here, I have to say, is the direction. I think this goes hand in hand in this, because there are some very poor choices that are made. For example, there's a lot of things on display here, and the way people react to them, they just don't seem that fussed about kind of these clearly supernatural things that happen, and it's not affecting them really that much at all. Now, you could put that down to the acting, but it seems to be more or less across the board, so I'm kind of going to blame the direction more on that one rather than the acting. The other thing I would say is I feel the plot was somewhat convoluted. It didn't make sort of sense at times. I felt there was a couple of kind of nonsensical things that happened here. So I felt like on a technical side this film was quite good. So it looks good when you see a trailer. It kind of cut a good trailer, and on a technical side it does have some good things going for it. But when you kind of peel back the layers, I feel more of the creative side of stuff was kind of lacking in this film. So much so, it just seems to be somewhat farcical towards the end, to be honest with you. And I feel the resolution wasn't very strong, without giving anything away, to be honest with you. There are some good images here. I did like some of the kind of the speak effects. There are a couple of jump scares, but I found it frustrating when we kind of see quite obviously things that are happening, and then people just kind of like go around with their regular days without even really mentioning it. It really bugs the hell out of me, to be honest with you. So it is kind of a film that looks good but doesn't have too much beneath the surface, although I feel it does have some good ideas, but it just can't capitalise on it. I just think it's poorly executed. I'm going to give this movie a 5.5 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment, and I shall look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.